workplace, a mile is never just a mile. It can be the distance between home and a reliable power source, a student and an opportunity, a patient and an appointment, or a child. In the first moment, science feels like it belongs to them. I didn't have those words when Southside Electric Cooperative sent me from Powhatan, Virginia to Washington, D.C. for Youth Tour in 2023. At the time, I mostly knew I was being invited into a room I probably wouldn't have found on my own. My name is Austin Dean. I'm 20 years old, and I'm now a biochemistry major with a leadership studies minor at Christopher Newport University, where I've earned a 3.72 cumulative GPA. Since Youth Tour, I served as a Youth Leadership Council delegate in 2024, representing Virginia and Southside Electric, and I returned in 2025 and 2026 as an NRECA staff assistant. I grew up in Powhatan, where a slow farm vehicle can turn a short drive into a small character building exercise. I say that with affection, though, because I do love where I came from. Powhatan gave me a strong sense of community, of family, and of place, but it also taught me that opportunity is not always evenly distributed.
Sometimes the difference between getting an opportunity and missing it is whether someone even thought to tell you that the door existed. That is why Youth Tour mattered so much to me. In Washington, D.C., I met students from co-op communities across the country, most of them from rural places and small towns like mine. I learned that electric cooperatives are not just companies that keep the lights on, although I do remain personally very pro-light, but they are member-owned organizations built around reliability, affordability, education, local voice, and concern for community. Youth Tour helped me see rural communities as places full of people worth investing in. The Youth Leadership Council only made that lesson more real. As a YLC delegate, I learned to speak about cooperative values, represent Virginia, connect with leaders and lawmakers, and think about what it means to give back to the co-op community.
My co-op month project used social media campaigns to increase Youth Tour awareness and applications in my area. I cared about this because the opportunities don't magically find students who need them. Leadership is making sure that information gets there first. Returning as a staff assistant at Power Exchange and Tech Advantage was one of the most meaningful full circle experiences I've ever had.
I had the opportunity to support the next group of YLC delegates as they stepped into the very same program that shaped me. Sometimes that meant logistics, sometimes encouragement, sometimes it just meant answering the question that someone was too nervous to ask. Leadership is making the room easier for someone else to enter.
At Christopher Newport University, I have carried that cooperative mindset into health, science, and service. Through the Bonner Service Scholars Program, I serve at Riverside Regional Medical Center, where I've supported patient resources, hospital operations, and health access work.
My work around mobile mammography and cancer care transportation changed the way I think about public health entirely. A mammogram can be one of the most important tools in preventative health, but it only matters if someone can actually reach it. This summer, I'm doing a research project that asks a related question about access to knowledge. I'm developing Building Your Brains, a community-based neuroscience workshop for young learners. I love pharmacology and neuroscience, but I don't want science to feel like a locked room with Latin labels on the door. I want students to meet brain science through models, questions, curiosity, and the realization that science can belong to them too. My long-term goal is to earn a PhD in pharmacology, with public health and advocacy central to my work. I want to study how medicine acts in the body and the brain, especially through neuroscience and behavioral research. But I also want to keep asking who can reach care, who can understand science, and whose needs are missing from the system. The Glenn English Scholarship would provide meaningful financial support as I continue my education, research, service, and leadership. But more importantly, it would continue an investment whose return is already visible. To me, the cooperative model at its best does more than just keep the lights on. It invests in people, builds local leadership, and asks communities to take care of one another. If that is the kind of leadership that this scholarship is meant to support, then I'm asking you to help me keep carrying it forward into pharmacology, public health, and every community I serve. Thank you.